Hi everyone, my name is Eliza and this is Eliza's Bookshelf. Today I want to go over another bingo board that I am setting up for March and also my March TBR. So this is actually going to be my last monthly bingo board for a while because I'm hoping starting next month I'll have my TBR game kind of set up and ready to go. I had a lot of fun picking the prompts for this month because I looked up like different holidays for March and I found a lot of good ones, and also there's a few like important dates in this month for me. So let's go over the prompts together. And I'll put the little bingo board right here. So the first prompt is a book with a female main character and also written by a female author, because the whole month of March is actually Women's History Month. So that's the first prompt. Second prompt is a screen adaptation because the Oscars is sometime this month. I think it's March 12th or something. So I decided to do this prompt again, a book that has a screen adaptation, whether it's movie or TV show. And then also, this is a little nerdy, but there is Pi Day in March 14th for 3.14. So the next prompt is a book that has the last page number ends in 3 or 1 or 4. Next prompt is a book with a dog on the cover. My old dog, Cody, he passed away in 2020, but his birthday was St. Patrick's Day, and so I always think about him more during this time of the year. So yes, any book with a dog in the cover. Next prompt is, of course, for St. Patrick's Day, any book with a green on the cover. After that, we have a book with flowers on the cover because the start of spring, I think it is March 20th, around there. Apparently March 30th is National Doctor's Day. I always forget year after year. I only remember because, you know, I get like different presents and stuff on my desk when I come into work. But yes, end of the month is National Doctor's Day. And so any book with a character that is a doctor, doesn't have to be a main character, can be a side character. So yes, and then lastly, the last prompt is a book that has been on your TBR for over a year. And I picked that one because this month, March, is actually my 1-year booktube anniversary. And so yes, I'm pretty sure I have a lot of books around here that has been on my TBR for over a year, and I'm just gonna pick one and I'll mark off that prompt for me. Okay, so basically, female main character by female author, screen adaptation, last page ends in 3, 1, or 4, dog on the cover, green on the cover, flowers on the cover, doctor character, and on TBR for over a year. So let's get into my books that I chose for these prompts, and then I also have like 2 extra books that I need to read because it's releasing soon and I need to finish up my like ARC reviews. Okay, so for the first one, female main character by female author. We have the second book in the Shatter Me series called Unravel Me. This is the continuation of the series, number 2 in the series. The next one is Ignite Me, Restore Me, Defy Me, and Imagine Me. Yeah, so I'm just like making my way through all of the books. I actually already started this, and so I'm on chapter like 4 or something. I'm hoping this one will not be as annoying as the first book because the first book has a lot of like paragraphs and phrases where it's scratched out in the book, and the author did that deliberately because she was trying to show how Juliet's mind is very like chaotic because she's, you know, very traumatized, been isolated for the longest time. And so I understand what she was going for, but it was really frustrating to read. And so it did get better, you know, as I read along in the book, and so I'm hoping this one has less of that as well. So that is Unravel Me. For the next prompt, a screen adaptation, I was reaching a little bit and I chose Crooked Kingdom. It's the Shadow and Bone series that is adapted into a Netflix series. So the first season is out, and then I think the second season is coming out, but this one I'm going to make it count anyways because the characters in this book or this spin-off, like Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, have been making a lot of appearances in the show, so I'm excited about that. I think it's coming out soon, actually, like the second season, but I read Six of Crows years ago and I bought this as soon as it came out. I just never read it. You can see it's like yellowing at the pages already because it's so old, but it's still in such perfect condition. Anyways, okay, so that was my second one. Third prompt is a book with the last page ending in 3, 1, or 4 for Pi Day, and I checked this one. This one ends in 4. So this one has 384 pages. It ends in a 4, so that counts for this prompt. It is All of Us Villains by, who is it by? Amanda Food and Christine Lynn Herman. I didn't know this was written by 2 authors. Anyways, I remember Sam always raving about this book. It's one of her favorites. She has like a bunch of tabbed pages in hers, I think. So I'm excited to finally read this one. I think it is a duology. if I'm not mistaken, because the second book is out. I just don't know if it is a duology or like an ongoing series thing. But so if I really like this one, I can just order the next one. Basically, there is a city with a lot of different families, and every year, is it every year? At the coming of the blood moon, they choose one person from each of the families to compete against each other to the death, because the winner and their family gets like the secret magic from a well or something like that. And it's crazy because this year there's like a scandalous tell-all thing that is released, so now it's not a secret anymore. Everyone knows about this tournament, this secret deadly tournament, and because of this tell-all, all the contestants and their families and stuff like that are finding out more secrets and more like strategies from the past tournaments. So it sounds really crazy. It reminds me of, I don't know, like Hunger Games and things like that, but a lot different, it sounds like. So that is my next one. Okay, next prompt is a book with a dog on the cover. It's around here somewhere. Okay, so I chose Maggie Moves On. Number one, because this is the one that kind of like is fresh in my mind that I know has a dog on the cover, so I just picked this one up. This would be my second book from Lucy Score. The last one I read, or the first one I read from Lucy Score, is Things We Never Got Over, and I really did not like it. So I'm trying to give her another try, especially because this cartoony cover is one of my favorites. So you have Maggie, and then I think this guy's name is Silas or something like that. And this is his dog. He's like a, what did he call it? What did she call it? He is a service school dropout dog. How funny. But anyways, so Maggie, she works as like a house flipper and a YouTube star. And so she's always moving around different places. That's why it's called Maggie Moves On. And so she's never like in one area. And so she's in this one place to do another house flipping thing challenge, and she has a lot of to-do lists, blueprints, and her team. And so Silas comes in. He is actually the landscaper, and so because of the nature of her job, she never stays put in one area, so she never commits to any relationship. So she's like, maybe I'll just try out a fling with this guy. And so I don't know, we'll see what happens. Would she put down roots in this area for this guy, or will he move around with her? I don't know, we'll see. But I'm so excited to see the shenanigans that this dog is going to get into, because look at him. He's like holding their keys. He's like a failed service school dropout dog. I don't know, it sounds funny. Okay, so that's that. And then my next prompt is a book with green on the cover. And for this one, I'm reading The Writing Retreat, and I'm doing this as a buddy read with one of my friends on Bookstagram. I got this off of Book of the Month last month, and I'm excited because I really like the feeling of reading my book of the month as I get them and not just like piling it up on the side. But look at this bookmark that my son made me. It has a heart and a star and his name. But yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I never have to buy bookmarks anymore because my son knows that I love reading and he always makes me bookmarks. Anyways, this one is about a published author, and she, I don't know, I think she's having a hard time and she's just about to give up, right? And so she gets this notice or something that there is going to be a writing retreat. She's invited there, and like her rival, I think it's like an ex-friend, but also now rival, is invited too. There's like a famous horror thriller novelist that is invited. So it's a bunch of novelists coming together on this writing retreat. And so when they get there, their goal is to write a whole novel in that 1 month that they are there, and the one with the best novel wins. I don't know what they win, I forget, but wins. And so they're like writing and writing and writing, and apparently some weird things happen. Like the horror novelist has erratic behavior, her rival has like cruel mind games, but then also someone vanishes. And so they're trying to figure out what exactly is going on before the main character vanishes as well. So yeah, never go to a weird writing retreat off in the forest, you know? I don't know. Okay, and my next prompt is, what is it? Flowers on the Cover. This one I am also doing as a buddy read with Daphne. It is called Georgie All Along. And I read the synopsis. It sounds like a forced proximity to-do list type of trope. But basically, Georgie has her career in LA, and then, well, is it LA or Louisiana? I don't know. I think it's Louisiana. Anyway, so she has like her job and it's like upended and things happen. She has to move back to her hometown and she's trying to figure out what exactly she wants in life and she just doesn't know. It comes up blank. And so when she's back in her hometown, she finds her old diary and sees all like these wishes and things that she used to want as a child, and it's kind of like, you know, getting her back into like what does she want in life. And so in comes this guy named Levi Fanning, and apparently he was a one-time town troublemaker and current town hermit. And so he's coming in, he's like her new roommate, and so he's trying to help her with this to-do list of sorts for her, and I guess I'm guessing they fall in love. But I'm so excited because I love those like forced proximity roommate type of things and helping them find themselves. I don't know. But the Kate Claiborne, I don't think I have read anything from her before. I do think I saw some of her old book covers. This would be my first book from her. All right, and next prompt is a book with a doctor character. And I was coming up short for this one because there's only one book that I know on my shelves that has a doctor character, but I wasn't sure if I was feeling that book. I think it's over here somewhere, called The Queen of Hearts. That one is actually written by a doctor herself. I think she's an ER doctor, I'm not too sure, but I wasn't feeling it just yet, and so I just flipped around like the nearest books and I picked up this one. This coincidentally has a character who is a doctor. I was just opening it and I was like, oh, the husband was a cardiothoracic surgeon. Crazy. Anyways, so this involves two families, okay? So you have this one family over here. Olivia's the mom, the son is Asher, and then her like ex-husband is the cardiothoracic surgeon, and then you have a family over here. Olivia is the daughter, and I don't know who the family is, but you have Olivia, which, you know, gets into a relationship with Asher. So you have these two teens dating, right? The problem is, one night, Olivia, the mom over here, gets a call and is notified that Olivia is dead and her son Asher is being questioned for her death. And so she's like always thinking, you know, my son could not be the one who did it. My son could not have been involved at all. He's like the sweetest boy. But in her back of her mind, she knows that her ex-husband has like this temper, right? They had like this domestic abuse thing going on. And so she's like, could my son have done it? And it's so crazy because I remember in It Ends With Us, like the doctor, I mean, the guy, I mean, we all know, right? It Ends With Us is about domestic violence, and the guy, he's like, he's some sort of surgeon too, but why are we depicting all these surgeons as people in these domestic violence situations? I don't know. We'll see. But I've already started this a little bit because I wanted to, I don't know, I just really love Jodi Picoult and I love the look of this book. So this is not just Jodi Picoult, just FYI. She's co-written this with Finney Boylan, who I've never heard of, but I'm just so excited to get into another one of her books. I've already started it and I think I'm just like 2 or 3 chapters in. These chapters are pretty long. Okay. So that is one, and my last one is a book that has been on my TBR for over a year, and I think this was a great chance to read the book that has been on my Book of the Month TBR for the longest time. It is actually the first book that I got from Book of the Month, and it is Tana French's The Trespasser. So this is part of like the Dublin Murder Squad series. So it is a series that follows this Dublin Murder Squad. There's like different detectives on there. And if you don't know much about like Nordic noir type of crime mystery, it's very procedural and gritty and very dark. So I love it so much. But this follows another character. So I haven't heard about this detective yet, but basically she is put on a case that a lot of people think is like, you know, it's going to be a home run. Like there's the woman that is found dead in her fancy dinner home. Everyone thinks it's the boyfriend, but she finds, the detective, the main character, finds different clues. It's like, you know, maybe this is not just like a black and white type of deal. So I'm so excited to finally read this one. Oh, I have a bookmark. Back then, Book of the Month bookmarks were a lot different. They actually had like little sayings from the people who picked the book itself. So this one was written by Gabby Dunn. She said, there's never been a better time to read about a mixed race woman in a male-dominated field than during this heinous election season. So this was like in 2016. This twisted thriller is a perfect cop novel with a compelling edge. Enjoy, Gabby. So I'm so excited about my March TBR. And also there are 2 additional books that I need to read because they are coming out soon. I think they're coming out like March 7th, 6 or 7 or something like that. And I did start one of them. One of them is called What Have We Done by Alex Finley. which this would be my first Alex Finlay book, and I'm always so interested in his books, but I've never picked it up, and I finally got What Have We Done. I'm so excited about that. I think it's like a story about these three or four people who were together in a foster home, and I'm not sure if something happened to them, but they're out in the world now. They're older, like decades later, and they have their lives and their careers, but something weird is bringing them together, and so they have to figure out what's going on. The other one that is going to be released this month, so I have to read it, is Hannah Witton's Foxglove King. This is a new like romance fantasy series from Hannah Witton. I have read her other book, For the Wolf. I think it's For the Wolf. And the second book is For the Throne. I just haven't read the second book yet, but I am excited to get back into it. However, Hannah Witton just like hits us with another series. So this is a brand new series. It's the first in the series. And it is a young woman's secret power to raise the dead plunges her into a dangerous and glamorous world of the sainted king's royal court. So yes, that's all I know about it. And I do know that I think it's one of my upcoming books for either Fairy Loot or Illumicrate. Maybe I'm wrong. I just get like random spoilers or hints here and there, and so sometimes I know what books are coming out. But anyway, so alright, so let me just go over all the books that I'm planning to read for my March bingo. It's called Spring into March Bingo. And so female character by female author, I have Unravel Me. Screen adaptation, I have Crooked Kingdom. Last page that ends in 3, 1, or 4, I have All of Us Villains. And a dog on the cover, I have Maggie Moves On. Then we have a free space. Green on the cover, I have The Writing a Retreat. Flowers on the cover, I picked Georgie All Along. And a doctor character, I have Mad Honey. And lastly, on TBR for over a year, I have The Trespasser by Tana French. I am so excited. And then the extra 2 is What Have We Done by Alex Finlay, and then also Foxglove King by Hannah Witton. I'm so excited. Let me know what you guys are excited to read about in March, and thank you so much again for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!